Right, this is a guide for Sanctuary Chimps block border in version 27.3. I'm going to be starting here in Sandbox Mode because we need to practice this placement for the permaspike, which can be very tricky for most players, so it's good to kind of get this down before you go into the game so you can make sure you get it. If you don't get this permaspike placement correct in the run that you're doing the black border, it is still possible, but some rounds might be RNG. So if you practice and kind of get this down, and you can get it so it places in the middle on every single rotation the intended way, there will be no RNG in the later rounds. And in the run, I actually do mess it up, but it still wins. So just make sure to be safe. It's intended. That's how it should be done. So make sure that's all good, and this run will be easy after that. So now let's get into the dart placements. You can try to like zoom in a little bit if you want to find like where the thing is to place it, but for the landmarks I usually do the right hand for the leftmost dart. There's a little crevice off to the side for the middle dart where you can line it up really easily, and that will get it super easy. And for the other one, you just put the dart right in the middle of the crease on the bricks, and that will line it up super easily. Round 6 passes, round 7 we'll have to get longer range on the middle one, and on round 8 we have to get another dart up here, just cram him in as high as possible, and the right dart goes on last, and that will be 8. On round 9 I'm going to get another dart, and then on round 10 we're going to go in with the sniper. Alright, sniper gets placed on round 10 when you can afford him. Just place him down up there. Placement does not matter on that island, and we're going to keep him on strong. Some rounds we will have to change him to first, sometimes because there might be a small balloon that gets through, but those rounds are only in the early game, and after round 40 you don't really have to do anything with that sniper. Next we're going to be getting a sub. This guy is going to be going up to advanced intel for round 15, and on round 15 we're going to have to change him on strong, and then after that we're going to put him back on first, and then we're going to go straight for airburst. Some rounds might be a little close in that, so just watch out if I'm doing any targeting, and also if I'm hovering over the sniper. That might be because sometimes in that round you have to change the sniper over to first real quick just to get some leakers, so watch out for that. If you do everything correctly, this early game should be fine. I did it about like 8 or 9 times, and it worked every time if I did the thing correctly. Round 15 there, as you can see, it got pretty close, but that's a pretty unlucky scenario. Most of the time, none of the balloons even get to the intersection. So you just want to watch out for some of the closer rounds like that. Sometimes they can get closer than others, but if you do everything correct, it should be just fine. Alright, it's important to note for round 21, you need to buy the airburst the second you can afford it. If you don't, you're going to die because the yellows are just going to sneak right through. So make sure you get that. And after the airburst, we're going to have to buy a few things. So we're going to get the range on the dart, the lead detection on the sniper, and that will carry right into Churchill. And we're going to place Churchill just as far as down, try to keep as much space as possible in the middle, because we're going to have to get some few towers, an alchemist, and a village in there. So we're just going to keep him down and try to get him right next to the dart. That way he'll maximize space and get his placement perfect. We have Churchill placed, but unfortunately, Churchill does not really do much until he gets some upgrades, so we are going to have to focus more on some defense instead of getting an early discount, which is alright. We won't lose too much money on that, so we're going to have to get the triple guns on the sub, and it looks super close, but it does beat 33 with just that tiny sliver of intel that you have. And then after that, we're going to have to get an alchemist, and we're going to buy it on around 36, but you have to buy it at the start around 36, or else you will get the incorrect alch timing and you won't get the alchemist on the sub the way you want it. So we're going to have to do that, and then with that, we're going to go into the armor piercing darts, and then we're going to cross-bet the alch so that we can beat 40 consistently. As you can see, I also got the crossbow master, not crossbow master, just the crossbow, so that we can have more intel on the bottom side for the sub, which allows us to beat the camos on 37, and there's fast forward off, so we have our sub. As you can see, you need to buy the cross path as fast as possible as well, so you get the correct alch timing. If you don't understand how the alch timing works, just trust me, you need to buy it at the same time or else it gets all messed up. There we go, use the ability on 40, and that is the Moab fine. Now we're going to speed it back up. Some of these rounds are pretty easy. We're going to just try to place down the more towers, and I'm going to be going for the Elite Sniper with the maim Moab for the mid-game, which will go very well into the, what is it? Yeah, perma-spike, I can think. We're also, before we get to that, we're going to need to place an alchemist on Churchill so that he can do a lot more damage. Churchill's not very good without it, so we're going to get that, and he's going to do much better. I'm just going to breeze through these rounds. One important thing to note before it goes on to placing the snipers for the Elite Sniper and the maim Moab, something that you can actually do to make round, what is it, like round 57, yes, 57, a little easier, and basically it's some of the 50s with lots of Moabs that come. You can place a 200 sniper on strong as well as the 230, and you will still afford elite sniper before round 60. You just need elite sniper before 60, and I got it on 58 in this run, which worked out fine, but you don't need it for the end of 58 and 59 because both those rounds are easy. So you can make things a little bit easier by buying the 200 sniper, and you can kind of fast forward in the video a little bit just to see where I placed that maim Moab, because it's later the maim Moab. And if you place the 200 sniper, set it in strong, don't get any more upgrades, you'll do pretty fine and still get the elite sniper before 60, and then that will be good. Right, so I will use my Churchill ability on a few rounds throughout the 50s, so just watch out for that, see when I use it, and try to replicate it the same. And right now, we're just saving it for the Elite Sniper. So why get the Elite Sniper? Some people might ask. And if you did not see my Gear Chimps video, or the other strategy video where I showed the Elite Sniper in Chimps, he's actually really good. So the cool thing about Elite Sniper is that he has a ton of peers, which makes rounds like 63, 78 super easy, and he can also just affect a lot of balloons in general. He's not very good against the bigger balloons, but that's where his second ability comes in, which is not to generate cash because that's useless in Chimps, but to buff other snipers. And with this buff, you can pair it with a 420 maim Moab, and it permalocks BFBs. ZOMG still move, but they do go very slow, and the snipers, all the other snipers just in general, attack a lot faster, so he's actually very, very good, and he's a perfect mid-game tower when combined with the perma-spike. No, not the perma-spike, very good mid-game tower when combined with the maim Moab, and he'll carry right into the perma-spike just fine. So now we're getting the maim Moab, and this guy will become maim Moab 420. And I think I'm also going to upgrade the alch here. Yes, upgrade the alch, and then we're going to work on the perma-spike. So now here's placing the permaspike. As you saw at the beginning of the video, this is why it's important. And also, as you can see here, I place the village first. Don't do this. You want to place the 000 back first, and then upgrade the village. Getting the discount on the 00 spec does not matter, so do it anyways. And as you can see here, it looks like it's good. It looks like it's going in the middle, but no, it does not really when it's on the other side. So yes, I did mess it up. And also, one thing to note, I did not use Churchill's third ability, not third, level 3 ability on the first wave and second wave around 78. That will make it just a lot easier. As you can see, the first time it was pretty close when I did not use it. So we're doing that. But anyways, as you can see, our spike placement is bad. And as you can see, it's very bad because only half of the spikes get used, which effectively makes the perma spike twice as powerful. But nevertheless, it still did work, and it's not intended to be like this. Definitely don't recommend using it like this, and if this does end up happening, there will be RNG on 2 rounds, but if it does not and you did it correctly, there will be no RNG. So the first RNG round, if you messed it up like this, is around 82. It will get very close if you mess it up, and last round is 100, and you will see that both those rounds get very close. So here's 82 right now, but if you have the spike in the right placement, all the deadly spikes from the other side will be where they're supposed to be, and it will just make it in general a lot better. Also, I will be using my Churchill abilities very often throughout the run because I just want to try to cut as much RBE as possible off of the spike factory so that he can keep up a well-maintained pile of spikes. So just kind of watch out when I use them and try to replicate it as best as possible, and don't mess up the spikes. And I'm going to be getting perma spike here, and until a good while we're going to be set. So good luck. So the first tower I'm going to get here is in the support. We're going to get an engineer, and this guy will just be 040, no cross path, and he's going to be an overclock. So the way I'm going to try to kind of deal with this overclock is that because of the unfortunate situation I am in, I'm overclocking the perma spike when the perma spike is shooting in the middle lane, and I'm overclocking Churchill when he's not. So if you have the perma spike always shooting in the middle lane, of course it's going to be much easier because you get all the spikes that are on the opposite side in where they're supposed to be. So this won't really matter, but if you just want to be safe, you can do it kind of like the way I am, and like overclocking Churchill and the spike factory differently. But if you want, you can just put the perma spike, the overclock on the perma spike, and you'll be getting a ton of spikes right there. If you have the messed up placement, you're gonna have to do it how I'm doing it, and we're just continuing to overclock. I'm getting some more support towers. We got the Moab glue in the back there, and we upgraded the village the Moab glue can reach. So we got that, and then I also have the Moab presses with the extra pierce, so the denser rounds like 98, we can just push a lot back. And then I'm also getting shattered shells here on 57, not 57, 97, and we are going to have to micro that a bit to get the insides, and then we're going to just swap it back and forth on the 2 sides, So we get everything on 98, and that should be good. I am going to buy another boomerang mid-round 98, just try to get that as fast as possible, and everything should be good. If you use your abilities at the right time, you will go up to 199 and get up to 100. And if you have the perma-spike placed in the right spot, this definitely will be much easier. So just try to place it in the right spot, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so for round 100, I try to get a Spike Storm to cut RBE on the BAD, but I do not have enough money for that, so don't do it. Instead, get like a 230, no, not a 230, 203 sniper with that village. It will do way more damage than this, not even Spike Storm Spike, but basically, we're just gonna try to get as much, RBE down with that extra sniper, and as you can see, with that messed up spike pile, BAD comes in and it gets kind of close, but as you can see, there's still a decent amount of spikes on the other side, so if you had it in the middle, it will be much safer, but if you don't, you might be in a little bit of a pickle on 100. So as I said, 100 is the other RNG round with the bad spike pile, but if you do it right, it will be fine, and good luck to you. Just don't mess it up.